Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Abel, and I am the owner and founder of Type 1 Knowledge. Um, since this is the first video, I'm going to go over a little bit about what Type 1 Knowledge is, and we're going to go over the About page and just the general education page today. So, a little bit about myself, first of all, is Tyler Abel. I am from Southern Indiana. I actually was diagnosed with Type 1 diabetes on August 31st, 2015. So, with that being said, it basically gives you a realization that this is a type 1 diabetes page. We do cover both types of diabetes every now and then, but mainly this is a type 1 diabetes page, educating for type 1 diabetes. One of the reasons I started this page, mainly this webpage, is because a lot of people are very uneducated when it comes to type 1 diabetes. So, my goal with this page is to help them become more educated and educate the world, and hopefully if someone gets diagnosed, they come across my page and they find some information out they may not have known. So, with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and head into the About page, and this will be in the description below so you can look at it. It'll also be on the About page of the YouTube channel, and it should be up in the navigation bar of YouTube. So, let's get into this. First of all, welcome to Type 1 Knowledge. I kind of went ahead and described it, but started this website to help educate children and adults across the world about type 1 diabetes. On the site, you'll be able to find out what type 1 diabetes is and how it is diagnosed, how it affects a person, how one lives with it, and things to help treat it. There's also some additional things like alert dogs, blood A1C tests, people that have it, everything like that, self-management, that kind of thing. So a little bit more about my story. Like I said, I'm currently 16 years old. I'm from Southern Indiana. I was diagnosed when I was 15 years old. I was diagnosed on August 31st of 2015, almost a little over a year and a half. So I've become very educated on it, and it's actually changed my life in a more than one way. So I've educated myself, like I said. I've done more research than I probably should have, and but ever since I've got diagnosed, my goal is to become a diabetes educator for my hospital. Specifically, I want to do adolescent diabetes. So I really hope that by starting this webpage, I can help go ahead and start that career path in educating people for diabetes. That's about it on the knowledge and about page. So we're actually going to go ahead and cover our first thing today. And I'm just going to go down these lists and cover these slides and videos. So today we're going to do the general education. And so what happens is when you click on these pages, you get brought to the page here. And once you're on this page, you don't see any slides or anything here. So what you have to do is you actually have to click on this and it'll open a slide for you. So I'm just going to go to page fit here, and we're going to cover it here. So type 1 diabetes, just general education. Alright, go ahead into the second slide here. And I'm actually going to pause the video and resize, so I'll be right back. Alright, I feel first as we should cover what is diabetes and pretty much that in general idea. So diabetes is a disease in which the body's ability to produce insulin is impaired, which means broken, it will not produce insulin. And it results in abnormal metabolism of carbohydrates and elevated levels of glucose in the blood and urine, which is your blood glucose or sugar level in your blood. So basically, your pancreas doesn't create insulin, and with that, your glucose levels rise, and then you get the symptoms of diabetes. So ways to prevent type 1 diabetes. There's really no way to prevent it. However, you can take steps to reduce the possibility of obtaining the disease. Healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, things like that. They classify type 1 diabetes as a lifestyle disease, but there's really no way to prevent it when lifestyle changes. You can just reduce the risk. Symptoms of diabetes. There's actually more than is on this list, but these are the main ones and the ones I mainly suffered. Thirst. I was drinking gallons of fluid today. I would go through a gallon of Gatorade in an hour, maybe half an hour. We were buying the Gatorade powder, where you actually put it into the pitcher and make it yourself. I would go through gallons of that in a couple hours. So heavy thirst, increased hunger, especially after eating, because your body absorbs the food and tries to use it for energy. So you are always, it feels like you're constantly hungry, especially after eating. Dry mouth. Dry mouth is actually a symptom of high blood glucose as well, so that's why you get that. And even after you're diagnosed, if your sugar is high, you can tell when your sugar is high because your mouth is very dry, and you get these same symptoms. So dry mouth kind of goes along with that thirst there. Nausea and vomiting. I kind of skipped these because I never really had these, but I had a little bit of nausea the day I was diagnosed. Pain in the stomach is another one I never really had, but that is one. Frequent urination, I definitely had that. I was going to the bathroom every 5 to 10 minutes. Unexplained weight loss, definitely had that one. I weighed 89 pounds the day I got diagnosed, and now I currently weigh 125, 130. Fatigue color, body feeling, that stuff. Blurred vision I definitely had, and frequent infections, I did not have that, but I know a lot of people my friends that are type 1 diabetics, that did have that. So how do you get diagnosed? Well, it's not really something you should kind of aim for, but if a doctor suspects you might have type 1 diabetes, they will check your blood sugar, run all kinds of tests like your A1C test, blood sugar level test, and that stuff. They also take urine test for glucose or chemicals in your body. And yeah, that's pretty much it on getting diagnosed. Life after being diagnosed. There's a lot to cover in the slide, and I probably didn't cover as much as I should, but we're still going to go over it. Life after being diagnosed can be very, very challenging. While some people have the ability to take it on, others remain, and they take it very, very hard, and it's a physical and mental change that they just simply cannot accept. Fairly enough, some people are subject to change their personalities, other things about them after being diagnosed. Diagnosed at 15, 16 years old is harder because you're a teenager and you've lived your life for 15, 16, 17 years in the same way, and now you come in and you have to change everything. You have to change your schedule, you have to be on a schedule, just all kinds of maintenance and things that you have to take care of. It can honestly be very emotionally and mentally challenging, and honestly may require a therapist. I personally do see a therapist at Riley Children's Hospital. At the same hospital I go and do my diabetic checkups. Can also be challenging in a physical way. Some people try to manage their diabetes, but their bodies don't want to cooperate with the insulin and the numbers that their nurses and doctors are giving them. So your blood sugars become affected in numerous ways. They can go high or go really low. So treatment, there's no official cure for type 1 diabetes, but many people with type 1 diabetes do live long, healthy lives. The key to good health with diabetes and treatment for diabetes is to keep your blood sugar levels within range and to use the numbers your doctor gives you for your formulas, and to take your insulin, adjust insulin, kind of watch what you eat. That's kind of on your doctor if you have a food diet or not. And of course, stay active, exercise, but treat it properly. So types of insulin, I don't think I included them all here, but there's the rapid acting, which starts to work in about 15 minutes, peaks around 1 hour after you take it, and continues to work for 2 to 4 hours. I believe that is the Humalog, alright? I think that's what I take as rapid acting Humalog. The regular or short acting gets to work in about 30 minutes. It peaks between 2 to 3 hours. That could also be Humalog in a little bit. The intermediate, let me try that again, acting, it won't get in your bloodstream for 2 to 4 hours, so that one could also be Humalog. The first three there's like 3 different types of Humalog insulin. And then of course the long acting is the Lantus insulin, and it's your 24-hour insulin. I'm not too educated when it comes to insulin, so I'm kind of just rapidly going over this slide here. Lifestyle changes, like I said, exercise. It's not as simple as going out for a run, but you have to balance your insulin dose and the food with an activity. Even simple tasks around the house, mowing, cleaning a house, mopping, just things like that. Just simple things. Knowledge is power. Always. You need to check your blood sugar before driving, running, doing activity, anything like that. Anything that could be dangerous. Sports, those kind of things. You also need to understand how your food affects your blood sugar. So if you have a Coke, you need to understand how it's going to change your blood sugar levels. And no, you don't have to predict the exact number, but you just need to know. So if I have a Coke, it's going to go up so much on average, probably 100 numbers or something, because a Coke has a can of Coke has 39 carbs. So, how do you figure your insulin doses? Everyone's is going to be different on this, but this is how I personally figure mine. My doctor gives me a formula. So she gives me a corrective formula, which I take my blood sugar, subtract 120, then divide that number by 20, and I get letter A. And then I have a carbohydrate factor, which I take my carbs eating divided by 12, and I get letter B, and I add letter A and letter B to get my total insulin dosage. Everyone's is going to be different, but it's just, every doctor is different how you formulate it, and some people might have set insulin for every meal and have a formula. So, and I also take 20 units of Lantus, but that changes all the time. Again, Humalog, it's a mealtime insulin, quick acting, 2 to 4 hours. It should be taken before meal or no longer than 15 minutes after eating a meal. Many different ways, insulin pump, insulin pen, and syringes. And side effects of Humalog usually contain things that are related to low blood sugar. Lantus, like I said, long-acting, 24 hours, does not break down carbohydrates like the Humalog insulin does. It can be bought in an insulin pen or syringes. I don't think there are Lantus pumps, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. This one says 22, but I've had my numbers changed recently, so I take 20, and I take it at 7:30 p.m. now. So, doctors recommend Lantus in the back of the arm for whatever reason. I don't know why. Alright, blood sugar. The typical ranges for adolescent, which is what I want to study in, is 70 to 120 or 70 to 150, just depending where you were before. Blood sugars can, of course, run high or low, but they're neither good or for diabetics. It's good to have it in range. So everyone will have different sugar ranges for the most part. Blood sugars, for the most part, if anything under 70 is considered low. Type 1 diabetics mostly have the same orders for treating blood sugars, unless your doctor has you on a specific type of plan. But for the most part, this is what Riley always tells someone to do. If you feel low, of course, check your blood sugar. If you're under 70, eat a fast-acting carbohydrate with 15 grams of carbs. Good things are fruit snacks, orange juice, those kind of things. If the sugar is under 50, eat a carb with 25 grams or more. So basically 25 to 30 grams of carbs. So you're just taking 2 of your fruit snacks or double your orange juice. After you go ahead and get your treatment in of your 15 to 30 grams, go ahead and wait 15 minutes. After your 15 minutes of the treatment, you need to check it again. If it's in range, eat a starch carb, chips, Cheez-Its, those kind of things, chocolate. If sugar's still not in range, you need to repeat the steps. Blood sugar high. Blood sugars high are never a good thing for type 1 diabetics. It can cause the same symptoms of diabetes, which I mentioned earlier: dry mouth, blurred vision, and many more. Thirst, urination, those kind of things. To treat high blood sugars, one you can simply take an insulin amount to corrective dose. Or, drink lots and lots of water also helps drain sugar out of the body by urination. High blood sugars, unfortunately, can cause one's A1C level to rise, and that's really bad because even though you take care of your diabetes, if you have your high blood sugar numbers, your A1C is still going to go up. I was researching it the other day in my new diabetes book, and this chart's a little off, So, but your A1C is your average blood sugar over the past 3 months. So, back when I made this chart, normal was 5.7, pre-diabetes was 5.7 to 6.4, and diabetes 6.5 or above. I think they put diabetes in a lower class range, like maybe 6.2 or something, but I know that chart is not accurate anymore, but it's close. Surprisingly, there are some things I actually do like about diabetes, having type 1 diabetes. So with type 1 diabetes, most are required, after being diagnosed, most are required to take a 4-day training class or educational class. During this process, you do become very, very educated on how diabetes works and what it is and what it does. Diabetes also provides many opportunities. Being a diabetic, I take part in many surveys, research organizations, just things to help find a cause and to learn more about it. I'm constantly getting surveys and helping out organizations in their research. Getting diagnosed also allowed me to meet so many amazing people in my life and inspirational people. The thing about diabetes is everyone has their own story, and I have mine, and everyone else that's been diagnosed has theirs. And again, I get to work with some amazing doctors who knows the human body like the back of their hand, and they just blow me away with the knowledge they have. Another thing I really like is it brought a visual to life. After being diagnosed in the way I was, you begin to create a new and different perspective for life and everything in it. By that I mean I don't mean it in a cheesy way, but you kind of get a more appreciative feeling for everything, especially with how close to a serious situation I was. Of course, this list should be really, really longer, but it's not. I made it simple and short and sweet. Things I absolutely dislike and hate about diabetes is it's very mentally challenging for me personally. Again, I see a diabetes therapist every 6 weeks. Riley, that date is kind of extended. I see her about every 3 months now. This is kind of a thing I like and dislike at the same time. It's a constant learning process. When we do something new, our doctors always correct us on it, and it's wow. But while I like being educated, at the same time, it's always having to learn something new by mistake isn't fun, like I said. It's a lot more work than people think of it to be. Figuring carbs, insulin doses, basic diabetic situations can cause a lot of stress, which also can result in high blood sugar. So that's it's a lifelong disease. It's a disease that's never going to go away, and without a cure, we're always going to have to take care of it and do it. While it's not necessarily, in my situation, there is a bullying problem. It seems unlikely, but people do bully or harass diabetics. Pain, diabetics might as well be called the needle disease. The entire disease is all needles, and I completely agree on that. It really is all needles, and they look really small, but sometimes they can really, really hurt. Pain also could be, something we'll go over later in the side effects and complications slides, like foot pain, headaches, things like that, just simple things. So I think that's going to be it. I don't think I have any more slides here. Oh, I have the conclusion slide. We'll go over this in the conclusion of the presentation. You should have learned to be aware that type 1 diabetes is a very serious and life-threatening disease. If one does not manage their diabetes, they can become seriously ill. Diabetes also has the ability to affect one in other ways. Diabetes can affect your entire body, feet, muscles, teeth, bones, and many more things. One thing to remember about diabetes is challenging and life-changing disease. While others can take it on without any problems, others take it on and struggle with it, both physically and mentally. I want to thank you for giving me about 20 minutes of your time today, for watching this video and going over it with me. If you guys do enjoy and want to see more on this, be sure to click the subscribe button, because I'll be uploading pretty much all our slides here. I'm just going to be going over everything on the website here. And if you don't want to wait for me to make the video, you can of course go to the website and check it out yourself. There are just different things you can do on here. You can read my story, you can look at our posts, and you can look at our pages and everything else. We also have a Facebook page. All you have to do is go to the website and type FB/FB, and it'll take you there. It'll take you right to it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If this helps anyone, please comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me your story down below. I'll see you guys later.